What if history's mightiest empire didn't succumb to invaders at the walls, but withered from an invisible toxin within, unchecked debt and inflation, quietly dissolving its core? Envision Rome's zenith, legions claiming worlds, engineering marvels defying eras. Yet hidden beneath, the decay began, silver coins tainted, values vanishing. Fast forward, America's debt now eclipses $38.5 trillion. A relentless tide, swollen by printing presses run amok, wars without end, a currency adrift from anchors. Step into Rome's zenith, the early empire under Augustus, the leader who reshaped chaos into the world's unrivaled superpower. The denarius ruled supreme, nearly pure silver, rock solid, trusted everywhere from Britain's frontiers to Egypt's heart. Conquest delivered rivers of wealth, gold, grain, captives fueling growth. Taxes bankrolled legions and timeless marvels. For everyday Romans, this meant real security, a merchant in the forum, counting coins with quiet confidence in his future, a legionary's family, thriving on steady pay, patricians building empires of land and influence. Trade pulsed along guarded roads and seas, it felt unbreakable, a golden age where ambition paid off. Power players sustained it, Senate guiding policy, generals pushing borders for fresh tribute, elites dominating vast estates. Yet beneath this triumph lurked a dangerous dependence, addicted to endless victories for revenue. When conquest slowed, the bills piled up, sprawling armies, bloated administration eroding reserves. Wealth pooled among the few, sharpening divides that left most exposed. Then came the quiet betrayal, emperors like Nero subtly diluting coins with base metals to chase wars and grandeur. Few sensed it yet, the value held, but not for long. These seeds of fragility weren't mere oversights. They were hidden fractures, widening slowly, priming an empire's glory for the devastating fall ahead. The golden age faded inexorably. What Nero started as a subtle dilution, trimming silver to finance his ambitions, snowballed across generations into a desperate gamble. Facing relentless barbarian pressures and civil strife, emperors ramped it up. By around 200 AD, silver purity dipped below 60%. By the late 3rd century, it hovered near 5% or less. Mints churned out floods of these tarnished coins to settle debts and loyalize troops. Hyperinflation followed mercilessly. Papyri from Egypt document everyday goods surging in price, with estimates pointing to massive, disruptive increases as the currency's credibility shattered. Yet few recalled the chilling preview. In 33 AD, Tiberius's harsh loan enforcements sparked a credit panic. Properties plummeted, lenders ruined, commerce froze. Tacitus captured the widespread despair, a stark omen of vulnerabilities to come. The fallout spiraled, legions, handed pay worth ever less, turned to mutiny. Merchants hoarded essentials, rejecting the fading money. Vital trade networks ground to a halt. Leaders like Aurelian in the 270s scrambled with reforms to reclaim purity. But the trap had sprung, printing more to plug gaps only fueled the fire, deepening the crisis. Confidence evaporated, and Rome stood poised for an economic cataclysm that would ravage lives and fracture the empire from its core. The hyperinflation ignited fully in the late 3rd century, transforming everyday existence into a grinding ordeal. It started quietly, a family's wages stretching thinner each week, savings evaporating as coins lost their worth. Then desperation deepened, fathers helpless as children starved, famine creeping through crowded cities like a shadow. Hunger ignited fury. Riots erupted in the streets, the air thick with the cries of those betrayed by a system that once promised stability. Desperate for control, Diocletian in 301 AD imposed rigid price caps, locking costs for food, wages, even services. But reality defied the decree. Merchants simply hid goods or turned to underground trade, where evasion became survival. The edict, meant to save, only accelerated the breakdown. The toll mounted relentlessly. Brutal taxes stripped peasants bare, forcing them to flee ancestral lands, fields abandoned, homes forsaken, entire communities uprooted. Soldiers, clutching pay now valueless, rose in mutiny, their loyalty shattered by betrayal. The empire buckled, over 20 emperors in 50 years, thrones claimed and lost in waves of violence. Provinces, crushed under debt, slipped from grasp. trade vanished. When Visigoths sacked Rome in 410 AD, they assaulted a shell, hollowed by years of internal bleeding. This was the true climax, a protracted agony of lost hope, fractured trust, and vanished lives, hurtling toward irreversible collapse. Emerging from that protracted agony, the Western Roman Empire didn't collapse in one thunderous blow. It unraveled gradually, inexorably. In 476 AD, the final emperor, young Romulus Augustulus, was deposed without fanfare by a barbarian leader. The West dissolved, provinces drifting into new realms as imperial authority withered away. Lives splintered along sharp lines, elites fortified their worlds, hoarding remaining gold to weather the storm, while ordinary Romans faced deepening hardship, cities hollowing out, families scattered, the proud legacy of Rome reduced to fading memories. From this dissolution, fresh orders arose. Barbarian successors, the Visigoths, Franks, others, claimed territories, weaving Roman traditions into the foundations of medieval Europe. Meanwhile, the Eastern Empire, Byzantium, persisted for centuries, its endurance aided by Constantine's solidus, a sound gold coin that reclaimed vital monetary faith where the West could not. The lesson endures sharply. Unchecked debt and inflation fracture far beyond finances. They shatter trust, widen rifts, and expose societies to threats long contained. Empires seldom fall to superior armies alone. They often yield to this insidious inner decay, excesses accumulating until the core gives way. And disturbingly, this cycle isn't confined to antiquity. It's stirring anew in our time, with implications we can no longer overlook. Rome's downfall holds unflinching lessons for America's trajectory today. In 1971, Nixon severed the dollar's gold tether, ushering in pure fiat money, a move that unlocked vast creation of currency, echoing Rome's deepening debasement across eras. By early 2026, U.S. federal debt has eclipsed $39 trillion, an immense weight, propelled by chronic deficits and broad monetary expansion. Pandemic-era measures and sustained outlays drove sharp inflation, peaking near 9% in 2022 before cooling, yet leaving lingering pressures on daily costs. Overseas engagements persist in taxing resources, much like Rome's distant garrisons. Widening wealth divides erode cohesion, stirring unrest and doubt in shared prosperity. The true peril lies deeper, not just towering figures, but the fragile faiths sustaining them. If belief in the dollar erodes, through unrelenting borrowing or global shifts, the same vicious inflationary spiral could awaken, unraveling stability we take for granted. Amid swelling worldwide debts and fiat fragilities, Rome's caution rings clear: America's vulnerabilities mount, unless we confront them decisively. Will we grasp the pattern before it claims us? Empires rarely perish in sudden flames. They erode gradually, burdened by unchecked excesses, debts accumulating unseen, currencies eroded from within, history's stark warnings overlooked by those steering the course. Rome's fiscal rot didn't triumph through conquest. It hollowed the empire silently, until its mighty structure yielded to its own weight. Today, with America's debt eclipsing $39 trillion and relentlessly ascending, those identical corrosive forces are in motion. The pattern from antiquity grows ever more unmistakable. The profound question confronts us directly, one we dismiss at our peril. Will we finally absorb Rome's hard-earned wisdom, or drift inexorably into its fate? What parallels stir in your view of the present? Share below, and let's uncover more layers together.